Maggot was a biker, and he drove his motorcycle very fast. He drove a big chop Harley with a gang color jacket, and he ran down citizens for laughs. He had an old lady named Petula who packed an automatic 45 gun. They had just come up from California where they'd shot 6 cops for fun. Chick he thought he was the best there was, was down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff who they all called
Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
And that is me. Well, guess what? One of the Great Danes was in the room today, and, well, one of the cables got disconnected, and we went to go on the air, and guess what? We couldn't get on the air, but we're on there now. James, tonight we got a great guest, don't we?
Yes, we do, Mr. Terry Lovelace, and I just, boy, his story just gets more and more. I tell you, it really gets you.
Oh, yeah, we're going to find out a lot about it here tonight, and I'm just waiting for Ryan to call in here shortly for, giving UFO reports and all that stuff, and he'll be on tonight for about a half an hour giving us some reports, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what... Terry Lovelace, what he went through.
Yeah, I'll say, boy, that guy went through some stuff. It's amazing, the stuff. And, if you think about it, that's one guy that finally came around to telling a story. I wonder how many other stories are similar to that has been happening throughout the years that not everybody comes forward.
Well, a lot of people are still scared to, that. To say,
right.
How many people are going to sit there and tell their loved ones, their boss, friends at work, hey, I saw a UFO and I think I was abducted? They're not going to do it. And especially if you hold a, prestigious type of job, it is, scary at that point.
You better believe it's scary. A lot of people even today are afraid to lose their job or even be scorned. It still goes on, not as bad as it was, 20, 30 years ago, but it's still out there.
Oh, yeah, people, still kind of wonder about you. If you sit there and, say, hey, well, I was abducted by aliens. Well, it's one thing to sit there and say, well, you know what, I saw a UFO. But in a case like Terry's, it's so documented. And I really believe his encounter was so real.
Oh, yeah. You can feel it. I mean, you can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. It's real, and he's not kidding about it. He's dead serious. You can feel the conviction in his voice. You can feel the fear in his voice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still since 1977. Figure how many years that has been. And he's still, at night, scared to go to sleep at night. Can you blame him?
No, not at all. And that's one of the patterns that I found throughout all my research. It's not just him. There's many abductees that has the same fears. And some of them very well have been on here, many of them. And they fear going to bed at night sometimes because you never know when they're coming. And that is the one enigma that there is really no stopping it.
Well, no. I mean, you can hope it doesn't happen, but you know what? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And you know what? Being prepared for it is not going to do you any good because it's going to happen. If they're going to take you, they're going to take you.
Yeah, it's more of kind of help you mentally, but yeah, there's no stopping them. They're going to take you, like you say. They're going to take you. There's nothing we can do that I know of, and I'm trying hard to find a way to be able to defense to stop that. But boy, I don't see nothing in sight.
Well, I don't think holy water or anything like that is going to do you any good. I really feel strongly once you've been abducted, they're going to abduct you again. So let's bring him on here. Okay, Ryan, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, how's it going?
It is doing really good. How about yourself and your family?
Everyone is doing fine over here.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I did. I didn't get too much. Santa was kind of scarce this year. But how'd you guys make out?
Well, I'll be honest with you. At my age, we got a bunch of grandkids. So I told my wife, this is the budget. Don't really buy much for the older people. Concentrate on the grandkids. And that's what we did. And, and I think what we do is we have a great dinner. We, celebrate Christmas. And we have fun watching the grandkids.
Yeah, it's exactly what we do with our kids. So, yeah, we got them a lot of toys this year. So I was happy to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah. So what is going on UFO Reports?
Well, we got quite a bit this month. And so since Terry Lovelace is going to be on tonight, I figured I'd try to dig up some triangle ones, but there wasn't too many recent triangle ones. So we're going to start off here in Blue Springs, Missouri. It says, unidentified object flying over Blue Springs. It says, over Somerset Estates subdivision near Leggett Road and 12th Street. Flying perfect circular pattern over 3 hours with no deviation off course. It says, object looked triangular shaped, small size, with a solid red front light, 2 rear white lights, and a blinking rear red light. It says, sounds were of a motor or an engine. Called non-emergency Blue Springs, Missouri Dispatch Police at around 1:45 a.m. to report, and they said that they had no other reports or that there were any police drones in the area. They said 3 adults witnessed it, no nearby jets or airplane traffic, but saw occasional high-altitude commercial jet traffic that looked and sounded completely different from it. And that was reported, that happened on the 21st of December.
Very interesting.
Yes, sir. All right, our next one here comes from Chicago, Illinois. It's a circular shape. It says, I saw a very big circle. It says, I saw a very big circle-like thing in the sky with very strong lights in purple, lavender, pink color flashing, very strong over trees, right about, for at least it said 20 minutes, and then it faded away. I have a video. It looked like a very big Christmas ornament flashing these colors, so strong, yet just sitting there. I didn't know what I saw, but I feel like it wasn't something, it's very hard to know what it was. He said he got nervous looking at it, and it felt like it was looking back at him. He said he should have filmed it longer. He said, I didn't know what it was or if anyone else saw it because it was so early in the morning, but the lights were so vivid, so many different lights that someone should have saw. He said, I was the only one to come outside and see, but I'm not sure if anyone else did.
Interesting. Now, where was that at? What location?
It was in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of different lights to be flashing outside, especially late at night.
Yeah. Have you seen those lights over Las Vegas? It's been, the guy's been, showing the UFO supposedly, being filmed over in Las Vegas with a night vision and on Facebook. Have you seen that at all, Ryan?
Yeah, I did. I've seen a small clip of it, but it was only a small clip. I didn't see what other people were talking about, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that, and he's going to be on the show here coming up, and I'm going to really ask him some questions. To me, either it's a UFO or it's a helicopter, one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the lights reminded me of. So, a helicopter.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty.
All right, this next one here is from Morris, Illinois, and it lasted for 3 minutes. It says, all right, so real quick, on Norfolk site, they have so many sightings of formation lights. It's, and a lot of people are saying it's that Starlink satellite, but these, once you hear these, they're so different, it's pretty wild. So this one here says, 12 starlight lights, star-like lights traveling faster than an airplane, separated equally, and would disappear at the same spot. And he said they were traveling so fast. He said they were in one area and then to a next area so fast. He said it was way faster than an airplane. And at the end it says there was one light left. It traveled behind. After it did a loop, it came back around, and then it just all of a sudden disappeared.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah, so we got another one here. This one here is actually from Spain. And I picked this one up because it was on the 22nd of December, and it's also formation of lights. So it starts off, I saw what I thought was a satellite. I was looking at the night sky. Direction was 330 degrees and about 60 to 70 degrees elevation, approximate height. Impossible to say, seeing one small light having approximate 55 degrees across the sky that would indicate origin being USA or / Mexico if it were traveling in a dead straight line. He said the sky was clear at a minimum light population, its direction that it was traveling. I then noticed more dots following it. He said, my father was with me to see all this. We counted around 20 of these. They were all moving at the equal pace, and they were all equally spaced apart. And it lasted for about 5 to 7 minutes. And there was no sound at all. And he said once they flew past them, I guess they all cruised into one and disappeared.
Oh, wow. And now, did the guy get any pictures, video, or was this just a sighting?
It was just a sighting. I checked to see if there was any videos or pictures of it, and there wasn't.
Okay.
Then,
well, you have any others for us?
I do. I got a couple more here. I got a rectangle. All right, this was seen out of Eagle, Michigan. It says 20. He said he watched this for about 20 minutes. He said he first thought it was a satellite, and then he saw, I guess, a metal object appear out of nowhere, and he said the color of it was green. It moved over the hill. As it came towards his house, it got a little faster. It elevated in height, and then once it got to that elevation, he said it was directly over him, and it just disappeared. And then when he was getting back up to walk into his house, he seen it directly over his house. And as he stopped and stared at it, then it disappeared again. And that's where it ends.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a weird one.
And any others?
I do. I got one more here. It's from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Now, this sighting here, I've actually wrote an email to Mr. Davenport over at New Fork because I want to try to get a hold of these guys. It says, me and my wife have been seeing these objects in the sky since last year. It started with just one. Now there are about 6 high in the sky at the same location every night. They pretty much stay in one area. You can see blinking lights on them. They are in the skies for hours at a time. So we're curious at what these may be. I'm not saying they're UFOs, but there's something in our skies that at night that's just hovering. I'd really like somebody to come out to our home and investigate this. So please give me a call.
Well, the thing is, by the time somebody comes out to investigate it, whatever's going on won't be there. I mean, that's one thing about, I don't know. My feeling is that UFOs aren't going to hover, in the same area over and over. I mean, what would their reason be, Ryan?
Exactly. I feel the same way. Unless they're doing, some reconnaissance in a way, where I'm thinking, like around my area this summer, we saw these orange orbs. And that's what I mean by reconnaissance. I consider those maybe possible probes because they come around. They seem to swoop past you to make, I guess, a quick stop past you to see what you're doing out there. But that's the only reason I could see something like that sitting around for that long. Or they're working on an abduction. It's the only other thing I can think of. Or
it could be a drone used by law enforcement.
True.
Hanging out over a certain area, just, monitoring. It's possible. I think it's Arizona, Colorado. I can't remember which state, but, they've been getting a lot of reports of drones, and the law enforcement says it's not us, and the military says it's not them, but it's been a lot of drones, and, I mean, it's been making the news, so it makes you wonder what is going on.
Exactly. I actually have one more on here. It was about a triangle, and you just nailed it. He called to see if there was a drone, and because I guess it was triangle shaped, and he ended up calling the